Welcome to our channel, Bravo News. Heather Gay reveals the shocking reality of life with her ex-husband. The whispers that never died. For years, fans of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City had speculated about Heather Gay's mysterious ex-husband. He had been a quiet shadow in the backdrop of her life, referenced but rarely spoken of directly. Heather had carved out her identity on Bravo as a woman of resilience, laughter, and candor. But there was one place she had always drawn the line: her marriage. Until now. In a recent tension-filled sit-down filmed for the upcoming season, Heather's calm demeanor cracked. Sitting in front of the Bravo cameras, she clutched a glass of Chardonnay, her eyes heavy with both regret and courage. "There's something I've never said out loud," she began, the silence in the room thick. Fans had waited for this moment for years, but no one could have predicted the storm it would unleash. The marriage behind closed doors. Heather married young, stepping into the role of wife and mother under the watchful eyes of Salt Lake City's high society expectations. Her ex-husband, a man tied deeply to tradition and influence, demanded perfection. "He wanted me to be the perfect Mormon wife," Heather confessed, "but the truth is, I was drowning." The cameras cut between old family photos and Heather's trembling voice. She explained how the smiling holiday portraits masked a reality of control, silence, and the pressure to conform. Behind closed doors, disagreements often turned into icy standoffs. Heather admitted she lost herself in the relationship, her laughter fading into a polite smile that rarely reached her eyes. "I was living in a cage," she said softly, "and I built the cage myself, thinking that was love was supposed to look like." The secret that changed everything. The Bravo producers leaned in. Heather paused, her words heavy. "The truth is, he didn't love me for me," she admitted. "He loved the idea of me. And I kept pretending because I was too scared to lose everything." For the first time, Heather admitted that her ex-husband had been unfaithful, emotionally, if not physically. There were late-night messages she wasn't supposed to see, whispers of friendships that blurred into something more. "I remember finding one message that made my stomach drop," Heather revealed. "It wasn't graphic, but it was enough to tell me I was just an accessory in his life, not a partner." Her castmates' jaws dropped as Bravo rolled the footage. Whitney Rose, Heather's cousin, sat in stunned silence before whispering, "Heather, I had no idea." Bravo cast reacts. The moment Heather's confession aired, social media erupted. Lisa Barlow tweeted, "Heather opening up takes strength. Proud for her to be real." Meredith Marks posted an Instagram story, "Silence hides pain. Speaking truth heals it." Whitney Rose wrote, "I cried watching my cousin tell her story. Women everywhere need to hear this." But not everyone was supportive. Online chatter accused Heather of exaggerating for screen time. Some fans speculated that Bravo had pushed her into the confession for ratings. Heather didn't care. For the first time, the story was hers. A mother's struggle. Heather revealed the hardest part, telling her daughters the truth. "I didn't want them to hate their father," she said, wiping away tears, "but I also didn't want them to think it was okay to live in silence." The episode showed Heather sitting on her couch with her 3 daughters, explaining in gentle words why the marriage ended. There were tears, hugs, and a vow that their home would always be built on honesty. Bravo fans across the country posted messages of support, many sharing their own stories of breaking free from difficult marriages. Heather's confession became more than just a storyline. It became a lifeline for viewers. The backlash. Of course, her ex-husband did not stay silent. Within weeks of the episode's airing, anonymous sources close to him spoke to tabloids, painting Heather as dramatic and opportunistic. There were whispers of potential legal threats over defamation, though nothing concrete ever emerged. Heather responded with poise. I'm not here to destroy anyone. I'm here to tell my truth. If it makes someone uncomfortable, maybe they should look at why. Andy Cohen leaned forward, clearly relishing the moment, and said, Heather, this is why you're Housewives gold. The turning point. The confession marked a turning point in Heather's arc on RHOSLC. No longer just the fun-loving cousin or the comedic relief, she became the emotional heart of the series. Fans flooded her Instagram with love. You saved me. I left my marriage because of you. Thank you for being brave. At BravoCon, Heather was met with a standing ovation during her panel. She broke down in tears on stage, overwhelmed by the crowd chanting her name. Sometimes the thing you're most ashamed of becomes the thing that makes you strongest, she told them. Moving forward, today, Heather lives in a new rhythm. She's focused on her beauty business, her daughters, and rebuilding her self-confidence. Rumors swirl about a new romance, though she plays coy whenever the subject comes up on camera. I'm not rushing, she told Bravo cameras with a smirk. For the first time in my life, I'm dating myself, and let me tell you, I'm high maintenance. The confession that once haunted her became the spark for a new chapter. Heather Gay was no longer defined by her ex-husband. She was defined by her courage to speak. The legacy of her confession. As RHOSLC fans continued to dissect every frame of Heather's revelation, one truth remains. Bravo thrives on raw, unfiltered reality. Heather gave them exactly that. But beyond the cameras, beyond the fan chatter, Heather's confession planted a seed. In living rooms across America, women turned to their partners, their friends, and their children and began to speak their own truths. Heather's story was messy, painful, and imperfect, and that's exactly what made it unforgettable. Heather Gay, unfiltered. Looking back, Heather admits she was terrified the moment the camera stopped rolling. She thought, what have I done? What if this ruins everything? But the opposite happened. Heather's rare confession about her ex-husband became one of the most talked about Bravo moments of the year. It not only changed her image, but cemented her as one of the franchise's most authentic voices. Her closing words on the reunion special left fans in tears. I may have lost my marriage, but I found myself. And that's the best love story I could ever tell. Thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe to our channel for regular updates.